How's it going, everybody? Flashjordan here. Now, I know I missed last week. I'm just going to get to this right away. But I was really busy. It was Thanksgiving last week. Hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. We're going to hop right into the video here. No intro. Forget about that, because we have a lot to talk about this week. And we're just going to go ahead and get into the predictions right now. We're only going to predict the ones that have championship aspirations. So the Appalachian State game and the Troy game, I don't think we'll do anything for that. But we're going to predict the rest of them because it is conference championship week. This weekend of college football is probably the most chaotic weekend we've ever had in the playoff era thus far. I'm pleased to be joined by my co-host, Craig Dad Cruz. This year has been amazing. I feel like, though, it's gone by in just a flash. What's been your favorite parts so far about this year?
Oh boy. Well, it's been kind of like maybe 1 or 2 weeks of the year were kind of bland, and that a lot of people thought, well, this team should win, and they won. I think my favorite part is the fact that there's really only 2 undefeated teams, and it's going to be a struggle for those undefeated teams to stay in the top 10 and maybe the college football playoff. So that's great. Going into championship week, it's pretty odd to only see 2.
And let's get into the predictions, obviously. Not sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. You definitely can't go get a free blue and onion. I really don't know what that means, but anyway, we're going to move on here. The first game we have, the number 16 Memphis Tigers at the number 12 UCF Knights. Now, UCF coming off what may be the game of the year against USF, a fantastic game, fun game to watch. Memphis is 10-1, and I don't know. I think Memphis is going to make this a really good game. As you see on the screen, people are picking UCF. It's only probably because they're undefeated. And another thing, the rankings on the screen are wrong. I believe UCF is 14, Memphis is 20. These are the AP ones, I think. I'm going to pick UCF to win this game. They did crush Memphis earlier in the year, but I think this one's going to be a little bit closer, though. UCF gets the win. They go 12-0 into their probable New Year's Six bowl berth.
But UCF is last year's Western Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pulling for them because I love to see a school in that conference go undefeated and make a claim in the New Year's Day Bowl. So I like to see them go 13-0 total. So I'm picking them here.
Next game we have here, the Akron Zips at the Toledo Rockets. Now, I believe Toledo is a top 25 team. I think you definitely put them over Fresno State. And Fresno State is a topic I want to get to after we do the predictions. I think Toledo's going to take this one pretty easily. Again, as you see on your screen, they did crush Akron earlier, so I'm going to take Toledo easily.
Well, yeah, I'm picking Toledo well, just based on the paper stats. Toledo is one of those teams that they have decent years in their conference, and they've had several recently. Obviously, they beat them 48-21, so picking them. But you can't beat a team twice. It's not easy.
Right. The next game we have here, the North Texas Mean Green I guess it is kind of like at the FAU Owls. FAU 9-3 this year, undefeated in conference. Lane Kiffin's doing a fantastic job there in his first year, and I think they roll in this one. That's really all I gotta say. I really don't know much about either of these teams, but I am gonna pick FAU big.
Well, any college whose team name is Mean Green and their mascot's name is Scrappy, I'm picking them to win the championship. FAU's, okay. But let's go North Texas Mean Green. I'm not a fan of Texas, really at all. But the Mean Green with Scrappy, absolutely. 9-3 is going to win.
Alrighty then. The next game we have here, pretty much all the Power 5 games, conference championship games, maybe except for the Pac-12 championship game. I don't know. We'll see what happens. They're all extremely important. And TCU versus Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship, something that hasn't happened since 2010. I am going to pick Oklahoma in this game, but you, of all people, or not really, not of all people, but you probably more than anyone else I know say that it is tough to beat a team twice. I am going to pick Oklahoma, but why do you think TCU is going to win this game? And I'm just predicting that you think they're going to win this game.
Well, predicting incorrectly.
That's okay, whatever.
I
don't know why I said
Oklahoma
that. Anyway, move on.
I have Oklahoma picked here. Oklahoma's got to win the championship this year and bring credit back to the Big 12. I don't think Wisconsin's going to... I think it's going to be Oklahoma versus Wisconsin. And I think Wisconsin's going to fail. That's my prediction.
Well, that's a prediction for later.
But TCU could win. I mean, but I'm picking Oklahoma.
Next game we have here, the number 6 Georgia Bulldogs at the number 4 Auburn Tigers. Now this is one of the games where basically, if you win, you're in, definitely. Auburn's ranked number 2, Georgia at number 5, I believe, or at number 6. Georgia at number 6, Auburn at number 2. I'm going to pick Auburn to win this one. A lot of these games were matchups previously in the regular season, and they were all blowouts too, by the way, so I'm going to pick Auburn to win this one. It'll be a little bit closer than this time.
Well, I don't like Auburn as much as I don't like Alabama, but I'm glad they beat them. I'm picking Georgia, number 6. Again, it'd be nice to see somebody like Georgia come out of the woodwork. They've been horrible. I mean horrible the last couple of years. So if they can win this, I think they can get into the top 4. 2 SEC teams, Alabama and Georgia, might make it.
We'll get to that later. We're definitely going to get to our playoff predictions in a second. Next, we have the newly ranked number 25 Fresno State Bulldogs at the Boise State Broncos. Now, these two teams just played last week. It's pretty weird, but they are playing again in the Mountain West Championship. I'm going to pick Boise State to win this one. It is tough to beat a team twice, and I think Boise State is just a better team than Fresno State, who I think shouldn't even be ranked. I can name a few teams, a couple of them we've already seen here, that I think are definitely better than Fresno State, and they should be ranked. But I'm going to pick Boise State.
So, you think that Fresno State should not be top 25?
Yes.
I mean, here's their only losses are Alabama, Washington, and UNLV. I mean, you're right. They probably shouldn't be. But if they win their conference at 10-3, it credits them for something. But I'm gonna pick Fresno State here. I've never gone wrong with them, so I'm picking them.
Next game we have here, this one's the primetime game on ABC. The number 7 Miami Hurricanes at the number 1 Clemson Tigers. Now, Clemson probably number 1 due to the fact that the other teams in front of them lost, including Miami. And I just found out Miami's just lost a couple of receivers today, and they're not going to be playing in this game. So that I thought Clemson was going to win anyway, and now I think it's definitely a for sure win for Clemson. But it is Miami. They're weird. I really don't know how to feel about them, but this game will definitely change my opinion no matter what happens. So I'm going to pick Clemson though.
I hate picking these games because I don't really care for the conferences. I respect them. But if fans have Clemson winning this game, I think it's because they're ranked number 1. I'm going to pick Miami. I hope Clemson loses.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe you're doing that.
Pick Miami. They had a bad loss. If not, they'd be number 1.
I can't believe you're doing that. And the game of the year for us two, this game we've both been waiting for. Now this game could have had a different team in it from the West if someone knew that you can't just run around the end zone and not throw the ball and expect to be okay. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the number 8 Ohio State Buckeyes versus the number 4 Wisconsin Badgers, contrary to your screen. And of course, I'm picking the Buckeyes to win this game. I'm a Buckeyes fan. A lot of people are talking about this game against Iowa, which matters a lot more now when you look at the resume, but that doesn't matter when you come into the Big Ten Championship. We're against Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin's good, but I just think Ohio State is just a little bit better, and I think OSU gets the win.
Wisconsin's number 4?
Yeah.
Well, how about we talk about the 10-2 Ohio State Buckeyes versus the 12-0 loss Wisconsin Badgers. Picking Wisconsin here all the way. My number 10 game. Unfortunately, this game is not the game that you predict the score for the tiebreaker, which was I'd say, Wisconsin 51, Ohio State 14. I think that's how good Wisconsin is. We're going to see them destroy Ohio State in this game in a manner that is going to say, you know what, Ohio State is overranked even at number 8. Nothing against you, but Wisconsin is just that good.
So that'll conclude our predictions for the for conference championship week of college football. Now we're going to do our full playoff predictions. Now we're going to do two things. We're going to give our prediction based on our conference championship week and what we think the committee will do. So we're going to think what we think and what we think the committee will do based on the scenarios that we have set out for ourselves. I'll go ahead and start with what I would do. There may be a little bias in this, obviously, but there's bias everywhere. And I want to touch up on something real quick that I've been meaning to say. It has to do with Fresno State. It has to do with Mississippi State, and a couple other teams I forgot. But the only reason they're ranked, I don't think Mississippi State's a top 25 team, even with Nick Fitzgerald. I don't think they would have won that game. I don't think Fresno State's a top 25 team. And the reason that they're ranked is because I found that the committee likes to boost the top teams' resumes. The top teams I'm talking about, the ones that have always been at the top, like Alabama, you could say that for Clemson too. I just think that they put teams in the top 25 only to boost the top teams. The top, playoff contenders' resumes, and I just really don't like that. And again, they may not do that. That may just be a coincidence, but I personally think I just have a problem with that. And maybe it's just a coincidence. But anyway, let's forget about that. Moving on. So my top 4, based on my predictions, Clemson will be number 1. I think. Yeah, my prediction says they're going to crush Miami. So Clemson will be number 1. I picked Auburn to beat Georgia. I think Auburn holds it 2. I picked Oklahoma to beat TCU. And I think Oklahoma's going to be number 3. And then it comes down to that number 4 spot. Ohio State and Alabama. And I guess USC, but it's on a Friday. I'm going to say USC wins that game. And then, I don't know. That's basically it. For legitimate contenders. And I'm going to put my Buckeyes in, obviously. I think if you were to put Ohio State and Alabama on the field, have them play, I think Ohio State would win that game. So that's why I say Ohio State over Bama. And both of these playoff matchups will be rematches of last year's bowl season games. Hopefully a different outcome. But yeah, that's what I think it should be.
Okay, so give me the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Clemson number 1, Auburn number 2, Oklahoma 3, Ohio State 4.
Okay, Clemson, Oklahoma.
No, Clemson, Auburn,
Clemson,
Oklahoma.
Auburn, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So you think the only thing that's going to change is if Wisconsin and Ohio State flip rank?
I do. I mean, what would you change if those 3 teams win? Like, why would they change something? I just don't see them changing anything.
If they win, yes.
Right, if they win.
So that's what you think is going to happen?
Right.
You don't think that if...
No, that's what I want to happen, not what I think is going to happen.
Okay. So what I want to happen is I want Miami to win and be number 4. I want Wisconsin to jump ship with Auburn because Alabama beat them. I mean, Georgia can beat them, but I don't think Georgia... I don't know, honestly. I think there's like 900 possibilities, and I don't think anybody's going to get them. So I just can say this. I don't think if all 4 of the teams win, then all 4 of the teams stay. That's what I think is going to happen. And that's the thing that they're going to do. Clemson, Auburn, Oklahoma, Wisconsin. If all 4 of them win, which they can, it's 4 different conferences, the way they wanted it, which is why they have it this week. That's the way it's going to be.
All right. Well, obviously our predictions differ, but it's good to have a different opinion out there. Now, as for what I think the committee will do, I think they're gonna keep everything else the same, but I think they're gonna end up putting Alabama in, unfortunately, at number 4, just based on the name Alabama. I just don't. I want them to put OSU in, but I just don't think it's gonna happen. I think Alabama will be in the number 4, and they will play Clemson for the 3rd year in a row in the playoff.
Oh my goodness. I don't know about that.
Really? What? You think, under my scenario, who do you think should be number 4?
Under your scenario?
Yeah. Or who do you think they would put at number 4 using my scenario?
Well, honestly, I don't think that Auburn should have slipped in at number 2. But they did.
I think they're definitely the second best team, though. I'm still not sure about Oklahoma and their defense, though.
And they've just given them so much credit. No, Jordan, I'm not too sure. Really not too sure. So I'll just say that at the end of the day, it comes down to all 4 teams in the top 4 have to win, and they'll keep them in there. Anything else, they're going to change it.
All right, well, that concludes our. Well, this isn't really regular season, but this concludes our non-bowl season predictions for this year. Hopefully, we will be back for bowl season. Hopefully, I get time to do our bowl predictions. I'm really excited about this weekend. I feel like whatever happens, there's going to be chaos, so it'll be really entertaining to watch. Everyone has different opinions, but that's the beauty of college football. There's so many more teams than any other sport. So I'm really excited. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Hopefully your team wins, unless it's Wisconsin. Any last words for the people at home?
Hey, you know what? I don't really have a dog in the fight this weekend, so let's go Big Ten. Let's go undefeated. Get that number 1 spot. And with that, I say, Patty go out.
All right, see you later.